Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will learn Science chapter number 1 Nutrition in Plants part 2. In part 1 we have learned how autotroph means green plants make their own food and we learn about the process of photosynthesis. And today we will learn heterotrophic nutrition in the plants. Plants which do not have chlorophyll, they cannot make their own food. So they depend on autotrophs or animals. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot make their own food. Such plants depend on food produced by the other plants to survive. They show heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and the plants that follow heterotrophic mode of nutrition are called as a heterotrophic plant. Example as parasites, saprophytic plants, symbiotic plants, etc. But today we will learn about the parasitic plants, saprophytic and all the many plants. First we will learn about the parasitic plants. Parasitic plants, the plants that partially or completely depend on others for their nutrition is called parasitic plants. So, the plants that partially or completely depend on other plants for their nutrition to fulfill their nitrogen requirement, they depend on the plant which it depends is called the host. Means when suppose the parasitic plant is depending on an autotroph. So we will not tell always autotroph. So there is just one specific name for it which is as a host. So there are some parasitic plants which are partially depend on the host plant or they are completely depend on the host plant. In today's video we will learn both partially dependent plant and completely dependent plant. Example Cuscuta plant which is known as dodder plant also and sandalwood tree. In this relationship only parasitic plant benefits. It harms the host plant. How parasitic plant benefits and how it harms the host plant we will learn in this video. Now we will learn about Cuscuta plant. The yellow pipe-like structure growing around stem and branches of a plant is the Cuscuta plant. Here you can see yellow pipe-like structure growing around the green plant on the which it is dependent for their nutrition is called the host plant. So this green color plant is the host plant and yellow pipe-like structure is the parasitic plant. So we can say that parasitic plant is depending on the host plant for their nutrition. This yellow pipe-like structure is growing around the stem and branches of the host plant so that they can obtain their nutrition. And this Cuscuta plant is yellow in color, and the plants which plants can make the food which are green in color means in the plant which it contains chlorophyll. And if the plant contains chlorophyll it will in green color, but this Cuscuta plant is in yellow color. So it is completely parasite. It do not have chlorophyll and it depend on the other plant for their nutrition. Now we will learn about the sandalwood tree. Now sandalwood tree is also known as a chandan and it is a partial root parasite. The root of this plant are attaches to the root of other trees. Here is the image of the sandalwood tree. Sandalwood tree, here you can see it is a green in color. So it can make their own food. Yes, it can make their own food, but there are some nutrients which are also required for this sandalwood tree. So it is partially. It can make food and it can't also. So it is a partially root parasite. Means its root are attached to the root of other trees to get their nutrition. Here is written that the root of this plant are attached to the root of other trees to fulfill their nutrition. So, I have previously told that only parasitic plant benefits and it harms the host plant. Here in this sandalwood tree, parasitic plant how it benefits by getting its nutrition, but on which it is depending, on host it is depending. It harms the host plant. How? Because If parasitic plant will take its nutrition, then host plant's nutrition will decrease. So it harms the host plant. Now we will learn about saprophytic plants. It obtains nutrients from dead and decaying matter of plant and animals. Saprophytic plant obtain their nutrition from dead and decaying plant and animal matter. It don't have often leaves or sometimes have bright colored flowers. Means these plants often have no leaves at all. They are usually whitish, but some have bright colored flowers. They are sometimes whitish in color and sometimes they are bright colored flowers. And plants which are in the category of saprophytic plants are called saprophytes. Plants which are in category of saprophytic plant are called saprophytes. Means example of the saprophytic plants are the saprophytes. Now which are the example? The example are the two example. First is Indian pipe and second is coral root. Indian pipe, this is the Indian pipe. As I have previously told that some plants are whitish in color. As you can see here, it is whitish in color. And about the coral root, this is the coral root plant. It has the bright colored flowers. So it is also the example of the saprophyte. Now here 2 point remain that the root of saprophytes contain fungi. Fungi are also called saprophytes. So the root of such plants means of the root of the saprophytes contain fungi. The fungi convert dead and decaying matter into nutrients, as well as fungi are also called as a saprotroph. Means root of saprophytes contain fungi. As how fungi's role is in the saprophytic plants that it convert dead and decaying matter of plant and animals into nutrients. Okay, so now here we have see the examples also. Now we will see about the symbiotic plants. Symbiotic plant basically means a sharing between two groups of plant. Basically it means sharing between two group of plants. Next is some plants live in group with other organism in which both partner are benefited by each other. Means some plants live in group with other organisms in which both the partner were benefited from each other, and this kind of association is called symbiosis. Such plants are called as the symbiotic plants. Fungus live in the root of symbiotic plants. Means I will tell you that suppose yes, you have bring a pencil and your friend has not bring a pencil. So you will give pencil to your friend, and suppose you have not brought eraser and your friend had bought eraser. So your friend will give to you. So both are happy because both mutually gain from each other. Both partners are benefited by getting each other. In symbiotic plant also, such as the mycorrhizal root and lichen, same here is also happening. First we will see of mycorrhizal root. Mycorrhizal relationship is between tree and fungus. Here this yellow is a fungus. You can see this like a mushroom. It is a fungus. So how they both are mutually gain from each other. This is the root of the big trees. So tree give useful nutrients prepared by it by the process of photosynthesis to this fungi, and fungi help by giving useful nutrients from the soil required by tree. So both are happy because both are benefited by each other. Tree get its useful nutrients and fungus get its nutrition. So both are benefited. Same as in lichen. Lichen is in between alga and fungus. Alga means green in color, contain chlorophyll. Means have you seen in a very stagnant water bodies or in the plants there are some green small organisms are growing. So in lichen it is the example between alga and fungus. How alga helps this green color you can see dark green color is of the fungus, I mean to say alga, and this light green color are the fungus it is. Alga provide food by photosynthesis. As it is green in color, alga is green in color, it provide food by photosynthesis, and fungus help in providing shelter to alga. In such a way, they both help each other. Now, it's very interesting, and I have told you previously that heterotrophic nutrition in plants, how they get their food depending on other plant or animal. Now we will talk about some plants, insectivorous plant, which depend on animal. Insectivorous plant trap and digest heterotrophic in nature. They trap and digest to insects. Here is a mistake. They trap and digest to insects. They mostly grow at places where nitrogen is less in amount, and to fulfill their nitrogen requirement, these plants eat insect. There are few plants which trap insect and digest them. They are called insectivorous plant. They get their nutrients by capturing and consuming small animals, mainly insect. They are both autotrophic and heterotrophic in nature. These plants mostly grow at the places means where the soil is less in amount of the nitrogen content. To fulfill their nitrogen requirement, these plants eat insect. Example, peacher and Venus flytrap. First we will see about the peacher plant. So, when an insect lands in the peacher, the lid closes and trapped insect gets digested when it touches the hair. So this is the image of the peacher plant. Here, when insect lands here in the peacher lid get closes in a second. Within a second it closes, and when it touches, there are some stiffy hair inside. When it touches it, there are some digestive juices are secreted, and then it is digested. The insect would digested by digestive juices secreted in the lid. Now we will learn about Venus flytrap. The inner surface of leaf have stiff hair. When an insect touches the hair, the leaves snap shut within a second. So, when an insect touches the hair, the leaves snap shut within a second. The insect is digested within. Means this green color part is of the Venus flytrap. You can see its inner surface. Here are the very small and stiff hair. Stiffy hair means stiff means very sticky hair. And when an insect touches that hair, the leaves snap shut within a second. Like such as you can see here that Venus flytrap is in the process of snapshotting within a second. It snapshot within a second. The insect is digested within, and when it closes its leaves, the insect will digested within. So here, by this we have finished our part 2, heterotrophic nutrition in the plants. So in my next video we will learn part 3, which is the replenishment of nutrients in the soil. And thank you. Like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Please like, subscribe and share to my channel. And in part 3 we will learn about the replenishment of nutrients in the soil. Thank you.